Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News. Take a look at the headlines. Vice President plus INEC to publish comprehensive list of this afternoon, lasting peace and with Nigerians. The President also re-emphasized the importance of synergy with Buhari, who also commissioned the newly constructed in sports development across the country by the end of the year. Nigeria's effort to tackle the terrorists induced in Muhammad. Westala said the president facing the country ended this year. Agencies remain committed and resolute in the Committee on National Economy, which he inaugurated, committee the production of crude oil owing to members to tackle the challenge, while promising that he's also chairman of the National Economic Council with Poland to address food security crisis in Nigeria. Andres Duda, who was on a state visit during his visit to the State House in Abuja, that Poland would strengthen its economic relations. President Buhari and the Polish leader discussed to be included in the 2023 appropriation bill. Professor STVNg, who spoke at ensuring that the country gets nutrition while Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is expected on the state on October 13th. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Minister of Launching of Yoruba version of Cocoa Gap Hand still with into enumeration areas for the 2023 and housing census, where he was represented by the federal government had so far approved the sum of 100. Nigeria. The government said the plan was after the Federal Executive Council, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Development. The council also approved the NAM as an agency with a mandate of fulfilling insurance and other financial institutions, by Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The lawmaker, Professor Justicia Nan, was robust and interactive, adding that the nominees in financial sector. No petition. Still on legislature, the Committee on Finance of the House of Representatives asked the Minister CPC, Akinyogun Ojo, over extra budgetary spending. At the hearing on the medium-term expenditure framework, the committee discovered that the agency spent. The chairman of the committee, James Falake, who directed the clerk of the spent their internally generated revenue against the provision of the Constitution. And while the Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Opiah, said about the International Literacy Day marked every September 8th, exploring opportunities and possibilities, said the theme for the year gives an opportunity and inclusive education for all. He restated the meanwhile, the federal STVNg scholarship, an initiative of the government. This is concerned in a letter signed by the Deputy Executive Secretary. High Commission announced the call for applications for the STVNg scholar expected to submit the applications at Still in education, 5% increment will be enjoyed by professors. The minister also noted that the President Muhammadu Buhari. Away from that, the Nigerian National Petroleum called for forensic audit of petroleum supply and subsidy managed to find the volume of petrol being consumed in Nigeria daily, and that the nation's Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division (NNPC) imported into the country was 16.46 billion liters, which translates supply and distribution value chain, and promised to ensure compliance with a 62 naira per liter. It said the average international market ton, while marketing and distribution cost is 46 naira per liter. The corporation 6.5 trillion naira on the assumption of 60 million. And Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pegasan, threatened a showdown with the Festivals of C4, blamed soldiers and other security agents protecting pipes. Responsibility it is to protect all to theft. The association urged the federal government to punish culprits. In the meantime, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense General Ahmed Audi said the dissolution was part of the reorganization of extortion of oil marketers by an official of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC said it is working towards public. Kubu said these are the stakeholders' validation meeting for the 2020 claim by a section of the civil society groups that INEC has concluded continuous voter registration to the existing. We move to Board and National Executive Committee meeting on Thursday in November has since been appointed as the new Board of Trustees chairman, stepped down for a Southerner. Meanwhile, River State Governor Nyesam. In the meantime, they are as the new chairman few minutes after the former chairman, Governor Aminu Tam. In a similar development, this is contained in a statement signed by the parties that the party also suspended former National Vice Chairman, Northeast, Ibrahim Manzout, and take advantage of the limited COVID-19 vaccines available in Nigeria. Dr. Ngozi Nana was put with pegs above 18. U.S. bars tech firms from building China factory.
Knowledge creates new dynamics towards emerging markets millionaires and billionaires. Oh, join us from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. weekdays.
Our governors have to share police. It shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the
hope of people who should be invited here for examination. My Lord, if we
soldiers has linked you with some of the killings he did?
He never did.
Not, my Lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court.
Is this an adversary process?
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and
STVNg
for Legally Speaking.
In the August 9 presidential election, and in weeks of political uncertainty, Justice Martha Koome said it was a unanimous year-old Deputy President Ruto scrapped to victory politician, now backed by the ruling party. Last month, it comes after the country's Supreme Court reports the Kenya Kwanza coalition led by Ruto is vying for control. Powerful another party will boycott a year and a half after side suspended today its one-man rule. Head of the National Salvation Front, which is made up of parties and moving electoral law written by Said alone. Still in Africa, UN's humanitarian chief has warned that head of the UN's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs Food and Nutrition report on Somalia of Africa, including Ethiopia and Kenya, are reportedly in the green and crops. Ukraine, the chief state inspector for nuclear and radiation power plant, due to the deteriorating security situation, conditions requiring the plant to be shut down arise and supplies it for its own needs through own energy to power cooling systems. Still on the crisis in Europe, the European Commission announced the package as senior official hosted a meeting of the Union noted that the new deal was to support housing, education, and agriculture. The minister announced personal sanctions alongside politicians, trade officials, and industry to freeze any Russian assets that those have been vocal supporters of Ukraine in the conflict. We move away from that to New York, Italy. The 58 pieces include a marble head. Brexit, the stolen artifacts were sold on the goods to their country of origin. $66 million. There would be many more seizures and many more repatriations. Were honored with the official unveiling of their portrait. Served as vice president throughout Obama's 2 terms, welcome and corridors of the White House after ceremonies. Elsewhere, Brasilia, attended by tens of thousands of for co-opting the bicentennial national holiday. Lula da Silva ahead of the October 2 on Brazil's 200th anniversary of independence. In his message, with practical cooperation, yielding in, Liz Truss became Britain's next prime minister after meeting with there in the choreographed ceremony. Her predecessor, Boris Johnson, formally stepped down during his. Meanwhile, within the week, Queen Elizabeth reigning for 70 years. Her family gathered at a 52 and witnessed enormous social change with her that for 14 Commonwealth realms. His son William inherited the Duchy of Cornwall. We move now to a series of emergency measures designed to limit consumers' energy bills. Said it will stop delivering oil and gas supplies to countries in the Pacific port city of Vladivostok. Anything at all if it's contrary to its economic. Meanwhile, U.S. technology companies that received confirmed these to newsmen that the guidelines were unveiled as business groups have pushed for more government has slowed production. Proposed excise duty on telecommunications services. Essential Committee on Excise Duty for the Digital, Excessive and Multiple Taxation. With its proposed excise duties on telecommunications services and beverages reportedly made 127.03 billion naira 6 months of the year. According to data from the National collected as value-added tax within the period. Speaking on the contributions on the sector in the second from manufacturing with 33.08%, information and communication with 18.90%. The borrowers program to repair their 5.67 billion naira non-performing intervention loans. The beneficiaries are Sunderland Interworld 5 billion naira, Gumarabic Farms and Commodity and Prime Energy Global Solutions Limited with Mercy Ike. Nisal MFB said that earlier demand notice serves as the final demand notice. Amosun set new record, wins Diamond League trophy.
A knowledge of global business creates new dynamics towards emerging markets millionaires and billionaires. From the .com day, taking you to the business around the globe. Join us from 11:30 a.m.
Elections in Nigeria is characterized by fraud.
It is another opportunity to elect credible and potential aspirants. What are your plans to better the lives of citizens and ensure that it is not just another
something that you know that they cannot do?
Even if after campaigning and promising heaven and earth, you find out that by...
So it is the normal thing that we must use to convince a man that does not have a hope
about the elections.
The electoral process has been made.
Definitely, no matter what the...
That godfatherism is what has eaten deep.
Godfatherism, somebody like me, I will become the counselor.
So the major aim is not about the people, it's about their family.
Yeah, most of them are stealing a lot of money, and they will use this money to buy. But for those, there are some of them that will not, I would say, definitely.
3 p.m. each day, exclusive to Spectrum Television, as we take on.
We begin with health, where, according to the latest situation report by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the NCDC said the number of suspected cases had increased in Kamsi, which covered August 2022. In the meantime, as an allowance to its members within the next 2 months. The group said it observed the slow progress made towards the agencies, MDS, and those in basic medical facilities continue the engagement using every lawful means to ensure the payment. Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has planned to embark on surveillance. Who confirmed these to newsmen in Kaduna said the purpose was to ensure quick service restaurants and fast food outlets did not adhere to its guidelines. Some restaurants and fast food outlets to a certain day. In sport, matches with world champion USA in Kansas City and Washington, D.C. Coben Thursday, October 6th. The date falls within one of the FIFA Women International windows for this year. Scottish football have been postponed this weekend as a mark of respect following the EFL games were due to take place on Friday and Saturday with 6 Women's Super League fixtures, the first of the season. as she won another trophy after finishing in 12 minutes. In Zurich, Kendra Harrison of the United States and Brittany Anderson of Jamaica finished second and third, respectively, behind the champion. The 25 Amazon is the first Nigerian to win a gold medal at the championship with a wind speed display. We now move to the exciting world of VR's Instagram account. Wizkid indicated that he will be dropping his new single for New Sounds from the Grammy winner. This year has been a groundbreaking one for Wizkid as he has continued to enjoy massive patronage from the singles of his hugely successful Made in Lagos album to get a gold certification. For Hades Award, the Buju Crooner, who was nominated in the same category with IR star Zinulensky, appreciated the organizers and colleagues who nominated with him. Reports say Babajide Sanwo-Olu to assist him clear his Bentley down to Lagos. Yep, news. Kindly follow us on our social media platform and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our web. Recap News. I am Francis Adet. To enjoy the rest of your weekend.